What's up, guys? MMAGAME here, bringing you another video. This video is probably one of my craziest fights. I've been having some insane fights with some of the other top players, some of the game changers. We've been having some crazy back and forth matches, so we are just practicing, getting better. But I want to thank you guys for stopping by the video. If you enjoyed this video, again, this is some online action, player versus player, high skill level. So this is going to be some great insight into what the game looks at a higher level, and I can tell you I really like it. And if you guys like this video, make sure to head kick that like button. I want to also give a big shout out to Apex Gamer, who is a YouTuber. He is doing UFC 3 videos like a madman, so I will leave the link to his channel down below. Make sure to head on over there and flying knee that sub button. But we are going in on this fight right here. I am actually John Lineker in this fight. My opponent is Dominick Cruz, and as you can see, the height is there. He's got the advantage in the size for sure. So already Lineker is at a big disadvantage, but what you can do in this game to sort of mediate that, the range, is to throw leg kicks and certain strikes like I'm throwing. I see how I work in those leg kicks because I really can't hit him with too much where I'm at in the range. Now if I can get in closer and close that distance a little bit, I can start to whip those uppercuts like I'm doing right there. But if he's backing up and he's away, I really can only hit him with maybe head kicks, maybe body kicks, and leg kicks for sure, because I don't have any, like, you know, flying Superman punches or anything like that. So Lineker is limited in the fact that he doesn't have the best range, but he is deadly for sure if you can get in close, or if you're fighting a aggressive fighter who's coming toward you. Lineker is going to be money for sure because he's got crazy power in those hands, and we will witness that later in this fight. But if you can notice, check out those new moves that Dominick Cruz has. My opponent here was using all types of new animations that you can do with Dominick Cruz. He has a whole bunch of special moves that he can do, and special evades and sways and sidesteps that are only unique to him. And there's some other fighters who also have special moves, like TJ Dillashaw, and a bunch of other fighters have little special things they can do. So I will be doing a video letting you guys know about the different types of special moves, maybe just per fighter or what, but there are a lot of special little moves that certain fighters have. Like Justin Gaethje has his signature block. It's like this special type of block. So it's really interesting. I'm wondering if any of those fighters who have these special moves are going to be cheesy. You know, I'm really not a huge fan of only giving a certain limited amount of fighters like a bunch of new moves. I don't really like that, especially on ranked, so I wouldn't really mind it too much on, you know, like offline modes. But I don't think it'll be a huge factor, because the thing with this game is, I mean, if Dominick Cruz does have some crazy move that like just gets over abused and is clearly overpowered, then, you know, it should be patched. But what I'll say about this fight is I was still able to, he was still doing these moves, and he was catching me with them too. But if you noticed, I'm John Lineker. I'm sort of taking a little bit of a beat down early in this fight. Like my body, he's really finding his range, and he's able to attack my body. So I'm trying to get him down. Look at that. I timed the takedown with the kick right there. So that was the only way I was actually able to get him down, was to time the takedown on the kick. And what I've experienced from playing the game so far is that that's going to be one of your main options to, if you actually want to get the fight to the ground. If you're trying to, you know, work your wrestling, work your jiu-jitsu, ground game at all, ground and pound, anything, you know, you're trying to smash people like Khabib, well, in order to get them down, you got to get the takedown. And what I've experienced with getting a takedown is that you want to go for the clinch and try to do it, or you want to time it off a kick. And other than that, it's been very difficult for me to get takedowns on, I know they're higher level players, but I still think if you time a takedown really, you know, nicely timed, almost like a counter window to a punch. So like if I punch you and you're throwing a hook, but I throw my counter hook at the right time, it hits you and it could rock you. I think the same thing should be like with the takedowns, where if you shoot for that takedown at that precise right time where they're throwing a strike and you manage to time it like in between them throwing a strike, I think it should really like increase the odds of the takedown actually happening, even for punches, because I think in this fight, I'm not sure, but in some of my fights, I've timed some really good takedowns right off a punch, like perfectly timed takedowns, and I was not able to get them. And usually on UFC 2, I would usually get them. I don't know if that's a transition speed or what type of factor that's going at, but I do notice that the takedowns seem to be a bit more difficult in general overall to get. Now, if you guys have the game and you played on EA Access and stuff, let me know what you think about the takedowns as well in the comments. But right off the rip, I will say that I do think the takedowns are a little bit... I'm talking about just the straight takedowns. The clinch takedowns aren't bad. I can get people down in the clinch. You know, it's not super difficult, but I would like another option for the takedowns. The other reason the takedowns are kind of risky to throw is because you can get countered really easy. So that leads it makes it even more dangerous to even throw it. So then you really don't even want to shoot. And when you don't even think you have any chance of getting the takedown, then you really don't want to shoot, because it's pretty much no point, and it'll put yourself in sprawl bottom, and you're pretty much done at that point. Like against a skilled player, you get put in sprawl bottom late in the fight, it's not going to be that good. But look, I go for the takedown again. It does not work, but hopefully we will see some sort of change to that. Again, let me know if you guys agree in the comments. But we are in round number 3 of this fight, and I just get that new animation. I'm loving that transition. I'm really loving that transition to side control top from the sprawl position where you grab the leg. I believe that was a position. But yeah, I'm trying to get some damage done with Lineker because I'm clearly losing this fight. But check out my opponent's stamina and check out those bows. Dropping elbows like a madman, John Lineker. Now this position right here, it's almost like not as strong because the block is just stronger. So this position might need to be buffed a little bit, I think, and make it a little bit stronger for the top. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. I'm still getting used to the ground game, and like what type of positions need to be a little bit stronger and which ones need to be a little bit not as strong. But I definitely think most of the positions on the top need, well, especially like guard. I don't know. I just need to play it a little more, actually. I really don't know yet. I just need a little bit bigger of a sample size for the ground game to give my actual like thoughts on it. But if you guys already have your thoughts on what you think they should keep or change in the ground game, let me know in the comments. Again, John Lineker, I mean, he's staying in there. We are getting into deep waters. That's another thing I'll say right off the bat. I absolutely love the 5-round fights in this game. I mean, when that stamina gets low and your guy starts moving so slow with his hands down, I mean, it's just a unique type of feel that has not been in any, really in any MMA game I've played. Like, you really feel like you're like gassed out and you really can't move. So it gets really fun at that point. It's my favorite stage of the game, I really think so, is when like both fighters have like lower stamina, and it really becomes like almost like a different game, like, because both people have way less stamina. It's way riskier to throw any strike, and it's just sort of this weird game of cat and mouse. But I actually really like it because it seems like realistic. So yeah, if you guys haven't played these 5-round fights when the stamina gets low, I mean, it's just awesome. I mean, if it's just you who has low stamina, you know, you're done pretty much. But I'm landing those nice overhand left hooks right there, and I'm catching him with that. And the thing with those strikes and these special strikes are, look at that. I tried to time I thought I timed that so beautifully, but look, it puts me he puts me right in a submission. Now I'm in trouble. So that's the risk of going for the takedown. You get put in an automatic well, you could deny the submission, but I am able to get out. So I'm pretty sure they're aware that the submissions are still kind of messed up, or pretty messed up. but, you know, I do think they are going to be continually... I'm not worried about the submissions because I know that they can easily tune them and just get them with the timing, with the speed of the gates and stuff. They can just... It just needs a little bit of tweaking, and it's fine. But, you know, I know they can do it, so it's all good. But look at that beautiful straight right. I actually sat down on that punch. I stopped moving my character in order to throw that straight right, and it landed beautifully and rocked my opponent. That's that power of Lineker. But again, guys, that's a little tip. If all you do in this game, in the stand-up, is throw strikes while you're moving, either moving backward or forward, get used to stopping sometimes and then uncorking shots, because when you unload, when you just plant your feet, you throw an uppercut or something like that, it's going to deliver a lot more power than if you're moving. So that is a definite tip that you guys should use in your fights. Now, just use it here and there, but certain times you know when your opponent's coming in and you can just stop, plant your feet, boom, and land beautiful counters like that. Also, if they're just moving forward like crazy, you can pretty much just stop moving, move your head, and just look to land, because if they're throwing a lot of shots in this game, you know, they're leaving themselves open for a lot of counters. So remember, anytime you have someone who's super aggressive and they're coming at you, it's not like UFC 2 where they're just gonna, you know, go through you and, you know, overwhelm you with all this offense. You can literally plant your feet, you know, look to sway, counter, you know, on them, and you can really rock them, and it'll stop them in their tracks, and they're gonna have to change. They're gonna have to think about like the crazy offense. So this game's a lot better in that regard. But if you can see in this round number 4, Lineker, I'm starting to gas. Like, my stamina is low, really low, and now his hands are low, and I can really only do like 2-punch combos at this point. And at this point in the fight, I have just been getting beat up pretty much from Cruz. Like, I'm getting off some stuff, but if you can see right here, like, I just really can't throw anything, because anything I throw, he's gonna probably counter me. So I'm trying to mix it up. See, I'm trying to throw crazy overhands to try to throw him off. Right there, he rips the body. I mean, I'm getting a nice duck right there. Like, I'm getting some really nice duck uppercuts. I have had a lot of success with the duck uppercut, mainly with countering people who want to come in and throw hooks and stuff. You know, it's a beautiful counter, the duck uppercut, especially if your guy's got really strong striking and he can deliver just big bombs and he's got heavy hands and stuff. Yeah, it's a very useful thing. All the sways are useful. I haven't really... There's that signature Dominick Cruz evade right there. Special to him, but look at that. There's that straight. I had to include that. One more shot of that beautiful straight. Here we go. Last round. Check out the stamina. And Lineker's already like staggered. Like, he's moving like super slow. And at this point, I'm like, you know, you're thinking like, wow, I can't even move. But at the same time, you have to remember that you've done a lot of damage to your opponent's chin. You've been punching him for 5 rounds, so you still got a lot of damage done. And look at that uppercut. I rock him with the ducking uppercut with Lineker. I try to put the pressure on, but I really don't have the energy to really unload a lot of shots or flurries. So, I mean, I can't really do anything. I just have to sit there and, you know, just wait it out and try to counter him again. But that's what I'm doing. I'm really sort of looking to counter, because that's really my only option, is to look to counter. I'm trying to land certain strikes, but it's like I'm faking strikes, because, you know, if you don't think you're gonna land, you can fake your strike by holding R2, but I shoot for the takedown and he easily denies it again. So my stamina is like so low, and it's just crazy when it gets to this point, because it's a whole new type of game. You have to learn like how it all feels at these deep waters. So, you know, I'm gonna be taking people into deep waters for sure, but there's always a shot. You know, like, look at this. I'm just getting beat up against the fence, like systematically, like beaten on, and like you could not do this. You just couldn't, like, there wasn't this feel of like helplessness in UFC 2 at all, like where you feel helpless, but at the same time you're still in it to win it. Like, you're still in it. You can still whip shots, you can still wing shots, you could still get rocks. It's not impossible to do. But right here, I'm literally sitting against the cage and not moving at all because I have no stamina. And Lineker is like just somehow standing. It makes no sense. And Cruz, look at that. See, I'm able to check the kick. I land my own leg kick, but there's no power because the stamina is so drained. Dominick Cruz now pushing forward, trying to keep that pressure, but he sort of doesn't want to get caught either. He's being safe, and that's what you should do, but he's landed big combos. But I think it's just the power of Dominick Cruz. It's like almost like his punches really can't do much to me at this point, and I'm sort of noticing that, but I don't get too risky with it because I know my chin is still, you know, a little bit damaged. But it does seem like Cruz's shots do not have the most power, so that is a little bit of a balance to him. He does have, you know, boom, but there it is right there, the ducking down uppercut. I was looking for the counter, and I get it right there with Lineker. It was a beautiful shot. I will replay it as well as show you guys the replays on the video, but we got to take one more look at this beautiful uppercut. I mean, perfectly timed. Perfectly timed. I slip the straight right as he's coming up vulnerable, nail him with the uppercut, and Lineker, the power of Lineker in the 5th round, and then we just get the TKO finish. It is done. John Lineker, a beautiful, beautiful fight. Shout out to my opponent. He was beating me left and right, and that's just how you get good, guys. You actually get good by learning. So he was beating me. I might put some of the fights where it was back and forth there. We had some insane fights, so let me know if you guys want to see more of those fights in the comments below. Make sure to check out Apex Gamer. Again, send in your top knockouts for UFC 3, guys. No more UFC 2. It's got to be UFC 3 clips, guys. I will be doing some probably final UFC 2 knockout videos in the future. But until next time, this has been MMAGAME. Peace.